ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast. We are your host. I'm Arnold Telegaarda.
And I am, of course, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, Darren Young. Y'all know who the hell I am. And this is episode, what, 28?
28.
28, man. We're going to feel accomplished when we beat Wrestlemania.
Wait, WrestleMania is on 36 next year, right? It's going to be 36.
Yeah, Tampa,
Wow.
Florida. So, once we surpass that, man... Well, actually, once we hit 52 weeks, I'll know it's been a full year that we've been rocking and rolling with Pro and Bro Wrestling. But first and foremost, I have to thank your wife. Your wife saved my life yesterday. You know, everyone dyes their hair. I don't give a damn. I'm letting the world know. I dyed my hair after I got a haircut Thursday. And I got a little dye on my forehead, and I panicked. I didn't have the solution to get the dye off the skin. I panicked, and I rubbed my skin raw. Ooh. And I had a photo shoot. This happened Friday, and I had a photo shoot Monday with a WWE photographer who we met in Bakersfield.
I remember.
Heather. And I told her I'm a man of my word, you know, so we're going to set this up, and we set it up for Monday, so I didn't see Raw. And, your wife saved my life. Immediately when this happened, I didn't think of no one else except for my heart. You're my soul. She's my heart. I immediately reached out to her heart, and she told me, I reached out to you first. And then you kind of quoted what Hart told me to do, go to Sephora. And I went there, and they found the foundation that they needed to do, and it covered it up perfectly. So I was ready to rock and roll for my photo shoot Monday that I just did. And I like the solution. Wait.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's whatever.
The foundation?
Yeah, I love the foundation cover up that they gave me that I've been putting it ODing on it now.
Oh, okay. So throughout your forehead now.
Yeah, making it all even. So it's just I look waxy. I look like I could be in one of those wax museums.
You're camera ready.
And I stay ready.
Matched your color, did a great job. You can't even tell.
Anytime I go to Sephora and I need help like that, I say, please help me. You know, I don't know what to do. This is a nightmare for me. But Hart saved my life, so thank you guys.
Of course, man. Of course. You touched on WrestleMania earlier. Did you happen to see the new logo for WrestleMania?
Oh, for Tampa? Mm-hmm. Well, it's red and...
It's pirate theme.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I wonder...
Yeah, I don't
Tampa,
know.
Pirates? What's the connection, you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because it's a flag, and it's a type of flag that's on a pirate ship. And it says WrestleMania. So I don't know.
I've enjoyed, the logo for WrestleMania in New Orleans, very colorful and stuff like that. So they've got the best of the best working on... even WrestleMania 37's logo. So who knows where that's going to be at. But they're 2 years ahead.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, because they're always promoting the next WrestleMania during WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, my favorite WrestleMania setup is the one in Orlando. The one with a roller coaster in the background. Yes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. That was... the first time that they were in Orlando?
Yeah, I believe that was the first time.
And usually, a huge setup like that, they actually have, the NXT crew. They set it up. They set up the ring and all that stuff to get that experience, to know how to do everything.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of work, too.
But it's an experience, how Bennett always says, the faster you guys tear down the ring, the faster you guys can get out of here. Or the faster you guys set up the ring, the faster you guys can go and break. So just, teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, listen, this episode is going to be super interesting. It can get a little bit awkward on my part and most likely your part as well. Most of the time that we have these episodes, you're the one that gathers the guests. Mm-hmm. But this time around, I got the guest. And you have a big match coming up next month. Yeah. November 23rd.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm 35. When this match goes down, I'm going to be 36, and he's 23, and it's funny. I always say don't die with a story, and you tell it, and you bring him on this episode of Pro and Bro Wrestling, but it's going to be a fight because he's undefeated, NCAA All-American, and I'm bringing a lot, man. I'm bringing a lot. I sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
So I sacrificed the first time trip ever to Singapore to take on this fight, and I'm very excited to do it for Damian Adams, who we had on Pro and Bro Wrestling,
Yes.
who helped train me, and he's helping train Ray Jazz, who I'll be fighting against. So yeah, I like to know a little bit more about him.
Yeah, so I thought it would be fun to spend a little time getting to know your opponent for next month and see, what kind of chemistry you guys have together. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an NYU alumni, NCAA All-American, a proud member of Team Adams, Ray Jazz in the house. What's up, man?
How you doing? Hey, you forgot the most important part. 4-time academic All-American.
Hey.
I graduated with a 3.7. I make sure I tell my athletes that because you got to get the grades. That's important.
That's no joke, man. The grades, man, I sucked at school so bad. So it was so hard for me to even get a 3.0 GPA. So for you to have that, that's an amazing accomplishment, bro.
Well, I control what I can control. I sat in front of the class. I made sure the teachers knew who I was, and made sure to let them know I was a wrestler and I competed on the team. So you got to control the controllables.
Yeah.
Went to study hall, so.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and hopping on here. And we just love to get to know you a little bit better,
For sure. Thanks for having me. I've been watching almost all your podcasts already, and it's great. I love what you guys are doing for sure.
Thank you, man. It's just so fun for us to do this because me and Fred, we're neighbors, and most of the time we're hanging out. We're always talking about wrestling. So I was like, why not just record it? So
yeah, why not record it? A lot of people love listening as well, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure you guys got a ton of following now, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, your opponent Fred here, he's just like you in the industry, so it's always nice to pick his brain about the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in WWE and all of that, and all his past experiences,
Yes, I know. Fred's like an encyclopedia of knowledge. He's got everything, man.
But Ray, I'll call you Ray because you're an incredible athlete. A lot of what you learned, I learned from Damian Adams, man. So I started in 2002, so I was working with him quite some time, man. And I still do a lot of his stuff that he taught me to this day, 17 plus years in the business. But was being in professional wrestling something that you dreamed of when you were a kid, or was it something that as you got older you wanted to pursue?
That's actually a pretty neat question because everything in my life kind of dictated me towards this decision. So when I was younger, my grandfather was like a big fan of wrestling. And my town in New Jersey, South Plainfield, New Jersey, we're a wrestling town. Mm-hmm. We were the number one team in the state the 3 out of 4 years I was in high school. So we're just like how in Texas, football is the big thing on Friday nights. Mm-hmm. It was us at wrestling. Everyone packed the gym with high school wrestling. So I started when I was in kindergarten.
Jeez.
And my grandfather took me because he would show me wrestling on TV. So it was actually a funny story. My first day of wrestling practice in kindergarten, I'm expecting there's like a ring and stuff, but no, it's not, it's people in singlets, with headgears on. It was complete opposite. But, after that, there was no turning back. After that first day of practice, I wanted to succeed and get better as much as I could at amateur wrestling. So I was still a fan of pro wrestling probably up until in middle school when amateur wrestling got pretty serious and
sure.
I was wrestling on Team New Jersey and all this other stuff. So I was just kind of too busy to really hone in on it.
Right.
But then one of my strength coaches, Zach Evanesh, he's been training me for a while. He was like my second father growing up, man. He took care of me. He had the Ultimate Warrior come talk to us. I think I was in seventh or eighth grade. So
damn.
He fired me up,
Wait, what year is this? Like 7th or 8th grade?
I think 2010, so it was right before the whole Hall of Fame thing, and wow. he was close with Zach, and they were sharing, different workouts
wow.
and different techniques, and I remember when Ultimate Warrior said, he would be like, you know what my passion is? My passion is effing passion, and that always stuck out with me,
Yeah.
Whatever he did it with passion. And that just stuck with me through high school and through college and everything. And, you know, just little tips like that and just directed me towards that. Another thing was, like, in college, my sophomore year roommate, he was a big wrestling fan growing up. So when Wrestlemania happened, he's like, yo, you want to watch it? Like, yeah, let's watch it. And then it kind of brought back old memories. And then I started training some guys at Henzo Gracie's in New York City. And so a couple of them were pro wrestlers and stuff and jiu-jitsus, and they were fans, and we were just trading off, you know, our fandom when we were kids. And then I would say the biggest turn for me going into this decision was going into my junior year of college. My sister passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
And, you know, like Fred always says, you don't want to die with a story. So it wasn't, you know, I was training real hard my junior year because she just passed and everything. And I really had a really cruddy junior year because I put too much stress on myself and too much pressure. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys know who Dan Gable is. He's a legendary amateur wrestler. He was Olympic champ. He told me, because his sister passed away too when he was younger, he was like, don't do anything for anyone else, do it for you. You know, your sister passed, use that as a catalyst to your goals and your dreams. Yeah. You know, that's why I have the same journey through destiny. You know, that was my sister's name, Destiny. So, you know, she's with you, so you're living your life through her now. Yeah. So it wasn't actually, I decided to go all in, full out with pro wrestling. I used to train kids in Brooklyn. Wow. And the coach was good friends with Bob Backlund. So, you know, it's Fred, it's good old Bob Backlund. I was actually going to a job interview, and Bob was calling me, and you know how the subways work. I was in the subway, so it cut out. So Bob left me a voicemail and stuff. I got out of the job interview. I was like, oh, man, I can't see myself doing this 9 to 5 crap, stuff like that, a job that I just totally wasn't interested in. I listened to the voicemail. I swear, I took my tie off. If I had a bow tie, I would have put it on. But, you know, I listened to the voicemail. I called him back. I said, Mr. Backlund, how are you? Right now, my mom and my grandfather would be trying to talk to you. My grandfather passed as well the same time my sister did. So it was kind of just like, you know, just talking to Bob just really, you know, inspired me. Yeah. And he said, you know, if you have this passion, go for it. Don't leave any stone unturned. And he said, don't live with regret. And he said, go for it. Why not? You know, you're young. You know, you got the amateur background. You know, it seems like you're good with kids because he saw me doing the clinics in Brooklyn and stuff. So that's when I started. That's when he got me in contact with Damien, and I've been all out ever since, you know.
That's amazing, man. And you mentioned that you know, you're a fan of pro wrestling growing up. Did you have a favorite wrestler growing up?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. I'm a big Kurt Angle guy, you know, because they have the amateur background, and you know, he was one of the best to do it that were amateur wise. I also liked Randy Orton, of course. You know, the fact that he's still doing it at a high level. It's, me knowing what it's like now, it's even more respectable and really notable. For sure, the level he still competes at it's amazing. Absolutely.
You know, all those wrestlers that you mentioned, I actually see all of them in you, man, because obviously of your wrestling background with Kurt Angle, but also looking at your Instagram stuff, man, you move like a luchador, man. You move like Rey Mysterio. You're doing backflips and everything. That's so impressive, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, everyone that saw me when I was an amateur wrestler, they're like, dude, they didn't know I could move like that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to move like that amateur wrestler. I don't want to get, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool that they see that. They're like, bro, I didn't even know you could move like that. How do you flip like that? I'm like, I just do it, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How do you even begin to practice a backflip?
Yeah, I mean, when I was training in college, I was nuts, man. It was 24/7. Same with the pro wrestling now, 24/7. Yeah. I did a lot of plyometric training. I made sure I got that in college wrestling because I would study what the top level guys are doing, and they would have 1 or 2 days just strictly plyometric. So that'd be the jumps, the hops, the fast twitch fibers. I would make sure I get an hour of that in, at least once or twice a week. So I was doing that, and that's how I developed, the fast twitch fibers and just being able to flip.
Yeah.
People just think that I'm just like a natural gymnast, but no, like if you train hard enough and you put your mind to something, you could do it. It just takes that extra effort into doing it. That's what I tell my athletes now. Fast twitch fibers. You got to get the plyometric in. Weight training's important, but you got to be able to move.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you, besides the amateur wrestling, what other fighting backgrounds do you have?
Well, just wrestling. I did do some like jiu-jitsu and stuff a little bit, but
did that help? And did that help with the amateur wrestling?
Jiu-jitsu, I mean, not as much. I would say it's the reverse. Wrestling helps more with jiu-jitsu. It's just, it's two different things. When I was doing some jiu-jitsu, it's weird because when you're trying to escape on bottom in wrestling, you want to kind of get your back away and try to turn away. In jiu-jitsu, you don't want to give someone your back or else you get choked out.
Yeah,
right.
So I learned that the hard way.
Did you get any cauliflower ears from doing jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah, of course. Not jiu-jitsu, all in amateur wrestling.
Oh,
That's
sure.
where my collie came from.
You've got to see his ears, man.
Really?
I love it. I wish I had cauliflower ear. Maybe he'll try it on me in a couple weeks.
Maybe I'll give you some, man. If you want it, hey, be careful what you wish for, bro.
It's nuts, man.
Once you get it, it's annoying because I got it in the middle of the season, and it's a pain because it swells up. You got to keep on getting it drained. And when you get it drained, you can't get your heart rate up, so you can't work out or wrestle, but I always did, so it always blew up right away. So I was like, it's at the point of no return, so I just left it.
I'm going to confess to something. Sometimes I catch myself getting into a rabbit hole of just watching YouTube videos of people getting their cauliflower ears drained. I don't know why. It's so therapeutic to me.
I got so good at it where I was just able to do it myself.
Jeez, man.
Or I would have my coach do it. I remember the craziest place I got it done was like in the back of this restaurant.
That's nuts.
Coach do it. I was like, Coach, I'm going on a date. I need to get my
You gotta get those bad boys drained because I've seen other footages of like MMA fighters that get like roundhouse kick to the ears and they just explode. It's so dangerous.
It was real bad one time. It looked like I had 3 years.
Oh my God!
I should send you guys a picture. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it was that big. It took like 2 or 3 needles to drain it completely. It was nuts.
That's crazy, man.
My mom wasn't happy about that one.
I'm sure. I was watching an old interview of you from like 2016, I believe, and I'm so impressed by your mentality at such a young age. Even like right now, you're 23, right?
Yes.
So yeah, like at 20 years old, you're already so disciplined and so focused, man. I think it was an interview of you at the gym, and the guy was like, you were talking about like being the hardest worker in the room, and you're like, no, like the hardest worker in life. And you were already like talking about your grades and everything, and how they're already like like you mentioned 3.8 or something like that, and you just excel in everything that you put your mind to. Where is that something that you got from like your family, or is that something that's just been instilled in you since you were born?
I mean, it's funny because I got asked that a lot. I think I'm a product of everyone that's been in my life. I'm like what I tell my athletes that I train with wrestling and strength and conditioning. I'm a product of all the coaches that inspired me when I was in my life. So I'm a little bit of, Zach Evanesh. I'm a little bit of the Zanettis, who I work for now with a sports psychologist company called Wrestling Mindset. So they helped me when I was a kid in high school wrestling, and I'm just a product of everyone that was in my life. So I'm a combination of all these coaches, which I'm very fortunate enough because I had so many great coaches in my life just steer me in the right direction. And like Fred says, even with pro wrestling, there's different flavors.
Sure.
Well, same thing with life. There's different flavors in everything, and I just piece it all together and make it my own flavor. And the one thing that I learned throughout life, or anything you do, hard work just always pans out in the end. For example, in school, it's not like I was the smartest. No, I just made sure I made it to every class. I was early to every class.
Yeah.
I made sure I talked to my teachers. I made sure I went to study hall. Yeah. It was funny when we would travel for tournaments. I would make sure I get my papers done, and I would hand my papers to the smartest guys on the team, and they'd proofread and edit it.
Wow, so
so
smart.
I'd make sure I get it done. But it's just putting in that little extra effort that you can control.
Absolutely.
And that's a big thing, not only in academics, but in life and, even athletics, wrestling and strength and conditioning. It's always that little extra that sometimes people don't want to do or bypass.
Sure. And
Same
what...
thing with,
Oh, go ahead.
you
Sorry.
guys go. Same thing with recovery, taking care of your body. That's another little thing that people don't want to do.
Yeah.
I remember my senior year of college, I made sure I recovered hard. I started going to yoga once a week and actually saved my body.
Wow.
I felt so much better on the mat, so much more flexible, and I still do it today, to this day, but it's always that little bit of extra.
That's amazing. I was going to ask you, what did you major in NYU?
I majored in sports media.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So it's pretty cool because I use it today,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Even the company I work for, sports media and marketing. So it's good. I actually use my degree.
Yeah, that's so true. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Ray, we're going into this match with the same mentality, man. I always say without commitment, you'll never start, but most importantly, dude, without consistency, you'll never finish. So if we're going to do something, we're going to, finish through and pull through to the finish line. Besides me, that's coming up in a couple weeks, what other veterans have you been in the ring with, and how long have you been wrestling?
So I think I'm coming up with a year and 4 months or a year and 5 months.
Wow.
Let's see, I wrestled Thomas Santel. You remember, what was it, Antonio Thomas?
Yes,
was his name in WWE.
from the Heartthrobs.
Yep, that match was awesome, man. It was basically just an amateur wrestling match.
Ray, I did my research, so I've seen that. Keep going.
Yeah, so that one was just awesome. It was so much different from any other matches on the card, and we just went out there and competed, man. We just let it fly. We were just legit trying to win and get that pin at any second of the match. So it was great. It was as much as my college career as the match was. It was awesome. That was one of my favorite ones. I also got to team with Nunzio, which was awesome. He's a
wow.
man. So it's great. I got to wrestle with a lot of good people, and I also got to learn the ways of the road from Robert Strauss.
Oh, the ways of the road.
So I got to learn the old Rob tricks on the road, getting to the gyms for free and all that other stuff. So I was very fortunate to ride with him. The beginning, I think I rode with him the first 6 or 7 months I was in the business. So it was great learning from him. I still use his tips on the road.
Yes.
So you mentioned earlier you were trained by Damian Adams, right?
Yes.
What was the most valuable thing Adams has taught you psychology-wise in the ring that you use till this day?
Just keeping on the same body part. You always, because it's a fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you want to attack the weakest part of anyone's body.
True.
That and just representing yourself to a high standard.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing with anything, even in life, holding yourself to a high standard.
Mm-hmm.
Be confident in everything you do.
Yeah.
Even if you're nervous, just act confident, man. Get that head up.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Do you watch any of the products out right now? Like any AEW, WWE, New Japan, or anything like that? Or are you just so busy wrestling?
Oh, well, I'm busy wrestling, but like I said, it's all about that extra, right? So,
yeah.
So I make sure I sacrifice sleep to catch up with all that.
Wow.
You got to stay in tune with the product, and you got to watch a lot of the old school stuff, which I do. Especially watching Bob, man. That's my boy right there.
Yeah.
Gotta watch his stuff.
Which product are you most entertained by right now? What do you catch yourself enjoying more?
I mean, NXT is good to watch because it's a place I want to be.
Nice.
Same with AEW. There's those. I want to be. I want to be at the next level. Everyone does.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything in life, you want to get to that next level.
Yeah.
So why not watch that next level? You know what I mean? Same when I was in college. I watched the top athletes, and that's what you have to do. If you want to get to that level, you have to watch the best.
Absolutely, man. Besides your upcoming match with Fred, who would you say is your dream opponent that you want to wrestle?
I really want to wrestle Matt Riddle, man.
Ooh.
I definitely do.
Damn. That would have been a great match.
Yeah, especially because I know some guys that wrestled with him at East Stroudsburg, and a couple of people that I used to roll with at Henzo's rolled with him. You know, so it'd be great. It'd be great to get a chance to compete with him for sure.
And it'll be so interesting with your background and his MMA background. I can't even imagine the type of match you guys will put together.
Oh yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. NXT is such a crazy brand, with it being on the USA Network, I'm more exposed to it. So before, I didn't really watch it as much when it was in the network, but now that I'm watching it, man, they have some of the best women wrestlers in NXT. Their women division is top notch for me. It's crazy.
Yep. Especially got Deanna there, Team Adams represent.
That's right.
So it's great. It's great that she's down there, and it's good for Damien too.
Yeah.
Ray, besides the veterans that you've wrestled, do you really see yourself doing big things if you ever got signed to WWE? Is that your ultimate goal? WWE?
Yes, of course. Yep. Yes. It's just like when I was in college, my ultimate goal was to be a national champ, right?
Yeah.
So I did, at the end of the day, I was an All-American, but I wasn't a national champ. But what I tell my athletes now, whether you achieve your goal or not, if you look yourself in the mirror and say, I did everything that I possibly could to achieve my goal, at the end of the day, you're a winner.
Damn.
So right now I'm doing everything that I possibly can to get better at my craft, at pro wrestling, at competing.
And Ray, you've also been backstage, NXT, WWE.
Yes.
How have your experiences been? What kind of feedback have you gotten, if you can share?
Oh, it's great. Just to go backstage and seeing what's behind the scenes and how it all comes together is great. I'm actually going November 1st to Buffalo for SmackDown. I got some extra work there.
Wow. Oh, nice.
That's nice. A ride, man. That's a ride. I've been on those trips. What's that? How many hours is that,
I think 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah,
so,
that's a ride.
One of the other guys from Team Adams, Matty Vides, Matt Montana, so we're driving up there. He's my compadre. My compadre on all these long trips. He's the man. Which is so great about Team Adams is that's who we are. We're a family. We're compadres. We travel together. We train together. We try to get booked on the same shows together. And that's important because it takes a team effort. Same thing when I tell the college and high school and middle school guys that I coach are wrestling. If you want to get better by your own, wrestle yourself in the mirror. It's not going to work. You need a team, and you need other people to lead you to get better.
Yes.
That's true, man. That's true.
Ray, Saturday, November 23rd, 2019, can you give our audience a 411 on what kind of event this is? Because I'm putting my 2 cents in. I want to get your 2 cents.
Yeah, the event, November 23rd, the big event, the big match, the biggest match of my career. No, I think it's going to be great. I'm bringing the intensity. I'm going all out, man. I told all the kids I coach, I'm like, you guys got to come, watch me do my thing, watch me give it to Darren Young, give it my all, because I'm coming, man.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I'm excited. Probably as excited as I was when I All-American in college, so I'm ready.
This event was supposed to be November 16, right?
Yeah, they changed it. I think something with the gym or something. I think they had a basketball game.
So originally it was November 16th, and then it got moved to November 23rd. So Saturday, November 23rd, 2019, it's going down. But it was a personal decision of mine to cancel a first-time trip ever to Singapore because I just wouldn't have been able to make it out there to wrestle on the 24th. They wanted me to wrestle. Singapore Pro Wrestling wanted me to wrestle November 24th, and there's just not enough time for me to get out there. It's like an 18-hour trip. So I postponed a trip to Singapore to do this. And
yeah.
I just don't know if you're ready.
You postpone your Singapore trip just to get your butt kicked by me, huh?
See, the thing is, Ray, you think you can intimidate me by posting videos of you working out and all that stuff, and it's supposed to intimidate me. It doesn't. Because if you think for a second your wind is good, my wind is even better. And I'm going to run circles around you. You're going to go minimum 30 minutes with me. So just be prepared for that. It can go 30 plus.
Yeah.
But
not if I pin you in the first 5.
Oh.
That's it. I'll make it easy for you. I'll hit you with the flying backside. You won't even see it coming.
Ray, you're missing the big picture here. It's going to be really tough for you to, the next day to have your family explain to you if you're really cut out for this business. Because after I'm done with you, I'm hopping on a first-class trip to Singapore, and I'm going to enjoy my Thanksgiving. I'm going to have a really, really good Thanksgiving. As for you, you're going to be questioning yourself as to if you're cut out for this business.
I'm going to be finally enjoying my turkey because I don't have to cut weight for college wrestling anymore. But I'll be eating like a South Plainfield tiger. Fred, you're a union farmer, bro. The union farmers. What do farmers do? They harvest their crops. Tigers, they hunt, bro. I'll be on the hunt November 23rd.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy, Ray? I seen your stuff again, and it's you're killing it out there. But I just wanted to warn you, man. I'm not picking sides here, but you're not wrestling Darren Young, bro. I've seen Fred outside of WWE, and I'm sure you've seen his stuff too, man. He's doing his best work right now. I think he's showcasing his full potential. So this is gonna be such a great match between you two, man.
Yeah, I hope he's got that little bit of extra though that I was talking about before.
Hey, man, Ray, bring all that amateur wrestling, bring all that walking, bring all that talking. Make sure you bring your heart, because that's something that's gonna have to get you through this match. Trust me.
Oh, it'll be there. It'll be there.
Man, I can't wait. Woo! This is gonna be fire. Yeah, I hope if I'm available, I'm definitely gonna be there front row, bro.
This is
awesome.
This is going down in Jersey, man. This is home. So
yeah.
What? You're gonna take a flight out to see this?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'll throw you one of my shirts.
See, the thing about this match, Ray, is that I'm sure you're going to have your mom and your dad and your coach and your teachers and your cats and your dogs and your teammates and all those guys. You're going to have everyone in attendance, man. But for me, 17 plus years in this business, I'm not going to have anyone there watching me. I'm going in there to prove a point that maybe someday you might be ready. I got signed with WWE at 25, so maybe someday you might get looked at, because Ray, the WWE isn't looking for potential. They're looking for stars, and I just don't think you're ready.
I guess we'll see.
And
I've been proving people my whole life, so but that's not the point. I want to prove myself. It doesn't matter if I'm proving other people. I want to prove to myself that I have what it takes.
Personally, Ray, I respect your decision for taking on this match. I respect your decision for sharing your story about your sister and your experience, your grind, trying to make it. But professionally, you need to be taught a lesson about respect, because you've been very disrespectful to me, and November 23rd, I'm going to beat some respect into you. And, I think I might, for the first time ever, put the Block Hate Legacy Championship title on the line. It'll be a year old November 2nd that Headquarters Clothing, a brand that I work with, they presented me with the belt. I bring it to appearances and matches. Maybe I'll just put that on the line, man, and just, see what you really got.
Well, my passion will be on the line, bro. All that. Okay. So you can put your belt on the line, you can put whatever on the line. But at the end of the day, let the best man win.
This match is going to be fire. It is on November 23rd, 2019 in New Jersey, man. I can't wait. Best of luck to both of you guys. And Ray, once you decide to hang it up for wrestling, you know what? You can be a freaking motivational speaker, bro. You have so much to teach the world, man, at such a young age, and it's so impressive. And I just hope you keep doing you, and you just keep growing every day with an even a stronger, more experienced mindset. We never stop learning, so I just hope you keep on growing and become the better version of yourself each and every single day, man.
1% better every day.
There you go.
Ray, last but not least, can you give our audience a 411 on anything besides our match that's going on with you, your social media handles, and your favorite quote that you love to share?
Yeah, for sure. You guys can follow me on Instagram. I'm a big Instagram guy. Ray_Jazz, so RAY__JAZ. I have a Twitter @TheRealRayJazz. But, Instagram, that's where it's all at. And let me see a good quote. The one that I like going with is always, good enough is the death of greatness. Ooh. So if you want to be great, don't just be good enough. Put in that extra percent. Put in that extra hard work. That's what it takes to be great.
I like it, Ray. I really like it a lot.
Mic drop.
Definitely, keep posting your videos of you working out, trying to intimidate me, because like I said, my wind is just as good as yours, and I'll see you very, very soon, my friend.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a good one. Appreciate it, bro.
You too, guys. Thank you again.
Woo! Wow. That's different.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot, man. I sacrificed a first-time trip ever, legit. There's no gimmick here, The show was originally supposed to be November 16th, and now they had moved it to November 23rd. I was supposed to be wrestling for the first time ever, legit, in front of my family again.
Yeah.
I performed in front of my god babies in Pomona, California, and I was going to perform November 24th in Singapore, but I just couldn't make it out in time, so I sacrificed a first-time trip. But you know what? When I'm done wiping the mat with his ass, I'm hopping on a plane, first class, and I'm gonna enjoy my Thanksgiving, man. His family's gonna be questioning him as to if he's really cut out for this business. So I'm excited for minimum 30 minutes.
Right.
Minimum 30 minutes. And just because I'm not posting any videos of me working out doesn't mean moves aren't being made, because you know how I roll, Arnold.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know how I roll.
It's true. It's true, man.
It's going to be an exciting match, and I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Hopefully I'm going to be there front row witness the action, and I can't believe that you said you'll put the Block the Hate Championship on the line, man. I've been telling you to do that for a while. It's finally happening.
This is important.
Yeah,
I got something to prove, man.
Yeah,
I got to prove if I still got it, and he's got to prove if he's still cut out for this business, and he's just not ready.
Yeah. Well, again, November 23rd, guys, New Jersey. If you're around the area, please hop on by and watch the match. It's going to be an epic one.
The details maybe will be in the
description box. I'll have it up there. Yeah. But let's talk about some pro wrestling news of the week. First off, I want to talk about your buddy, Randy Orton. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Well,
he is trolling hard on Instagram.
Oh, I seen he posted a selfie Elite in the background.
Yeah. So it was him in front of a door, and there's a sign on the door that says Elite Level or something like that, and the level part was covered up and it just said Elite.
Yeah.
And he took a picture of it, and he tagged Luke Harper, he tagged the Revival, he just tagged everyone that he knows is not happy in the WWE.
Because he can do that.
And he also tagged Chris Jericho, he also tagged Randy Orton. And I was scrolling through the comments, and I thought it was hilarious that Luke, he commented, and he's like, okay, I get it, Randy. You're at a different level than the rest of us. But I just love how they're having fun with it. And it's so ballsy it's not really ballsy for Randy, because he's at that stage in life where I'm assuming, by the way, I don't know him, but I'm assuming that he's great with money financially. Now he's just doing it because he wants to have fun doing it. He doesn't need to do this anymore. He's got an amazing family. So now he's just having fun with his job. And he's not walking on thin ice in WWE like some type of rookie that doesn't want to get in trouble. He does what he wants. He pushes the buttons.
Yeah.
Almost knowing that he's bulletproof, you know? So I thought that's hilarious. I love that.
it's a win-win situation. If those guys ever could jump, to AEW, it's a win-win, man. People are going to be watching AEW. People are going to be watching WWE.
Yeah.
Come on. But it's exciting. I love that. When I saw that, and he's always, I'm having a brain fart, but yeah, let's keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and you know what I appreciate about NXT and AEW is the fact that they're both taking their time.
Mm-hmm. They're
not like, whoosh, here's all our major stars. Let's get you invested in all of them. Yes. And this is all that we got right now. And, because if they do that, they're going to burn themselves out.
Yeah, don't shoot your load too quickly, you got a foreplay, a long foreplay.
Even the NXT, his name's blanking out right now. Johnny Gargano, the first 2 episodes, he wasn't even on there. And he is NXT. He's
not battling any injuries, is he?
I don't think so. But having Finn, I almost said Prince Devitt. Wow. But having Finn Balor showing up on, I believe, either the second episode. No, on the 4th or 5th episode of NXT, going face to face with Adam Cole. That's huge. And you know what's funny? I was listening to an Adam Cole interview, and he didn't know that was happening till maybe, I'm sure, 5 minutes before that time, because he saw Finn Balor walking around backstage, and they said hi, whatever, and he didn't know that he was gonna do that segment until it happened. So
that's good. Sometimes that's the best way, because you just get a natural reaction.
Yeah,
you get oh shit, it's going down.
And Adam Cole said he as a wrestling fan, he loves those moments more than wrestling matches.
Well, I didn't enjoy it when they didn't tell us until Battleground. Wait, it wasn't Battlegrounds. Money in the Bank, that we won the championship titles. They didn't tell us, man. I was pissed, man. I don't have no ego, but I was walking around backstage, boo-boo face, man, everyone knows the finish to their match except for Titus and I. When they debating whether they should give us the titles or not, man. Right. We didn't find out until the last minute.
But well, as a performer, yes, but he's saying as a fan, watching Monday Night Raw, he loves Stone Cold in a beer truck more than certain matches. Yeah. If you think about it, what's your favorite Stone Cold match? Beer truck. You know what I mean?
I have plenty of favorite Stone Cold matches.
Okay, what?
Back Stunning Steve Austin. It was him. Him and Steamboat. They wrestled each other a little bit.
For the U.S. Championship?
Yeah. I mean, Austin and Michaels had great matches. They were always moving in there.
That's true. And Austin, in WCW, he was more... what's the right word for it? He would... as in WWE, his character was a brawler. So he wrestled like one. But in WCW, he had more... technique, finesse, I guess.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, WWE, WWF, he was a brawler, and WCW, he was he was finesseful with his stuff.
Yeah,
he grabbed holds and wrestled, but he still had that. He could brawl if he needed to.
Yeah.
But I always enjoyed his work.
And still speaking about AEW, I think it's really interesting that they're sharing talents with AAA. Because Kenny Omega just won one of their championships.
I saw that. That's huge, man. That's huge. Wow.
And this is the reason why I think AEW doesn't have live shows. Remember we were talking about that? Do you think they have live shows just like WWE?
Yeah, see, if they had live shows, he wouldn't have been able to win the championship,
Yeah.
Because you're full-time. Mm-hmm. It's a full-time schedule.
Yeah.
So.
And also AEW wrestlers, they're able to have independent projects outside of the company. Mm-hmm. They don't own you like WWE does. I was explaining to my wife, Hart, about some of these things that you guys had to go through, even with haircuts, tattoos. You had to get them all approved,
Absolutely. You need permission to wipe your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. So. The next thing I want to talk about is Eric Bischoff. So we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it, that he is shell-shocked.
Shell-shocked, yeah.
Or we heard he was shell-shocked.
Yeah. So he uploaded...
From a reputable source.
Yes. Very reputable source. But I was looking forward to hearing his side of it. and he uploaded an episode on 83 Weeks, but it was a Scott Hall episode, and I think he touched on it on that episode, but I just didn't have time to. At that time, I would love to do it, but I didn't have time to sit at a 2-hour episode to find out which clip or which segment is he gonna talk about it. But wrestling YouTube channel picked it up, and they got the statement from him saying that, it is. He says that it is disappointing, but at the same time, he wasn't surprised by it. Yeah. He kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, like, he is disappointed that he's no longer in the position that he was at. Damn. And but overall, when he talked about his experience, he still says that it was a positive one, because, working with Vince McMahon, it's just so interesting to be around him, good or bad. He said, like, oh, Vince, he doesn't have all the answers, but at the same time, you gotta, like, give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah, but I mean, he would be a big help backstage. I don't understand, like, what the issue is.
Eric's a super talented man, because outside of wrestling, he works on pitching TV shows back in the day for certain networks and all that. But if let's say if I own a wrestling company, I personally feel I will sleep better at night knowing Bruce Pritchard's in charge than Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Because Bruce, man, like, I'm a big fan of his podcast. I know the name Bruce Pritchard, obviously, but I started to get to know him as the person when I started listening to What Happened When, and the way he approaches things, it kind of makes sense. He has such a mind for it. And his career speaks for itself, man. He's been around. I feel like he's a vampire. Like, he did segments with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
He was Brother Love, man.
Yeah, it's Steve Hart's house.
He's the guy that originally brought The Undertaker
Absolutely. So, I don't know whether he was just like a 17-year-old kid who looked 30 when he started, or, but he's been in the game for so long, and I feel like, especially...
His brother's just as good. I still use a lot of his, Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Yeah.
His brother is just as good when it comes to in-ring stuff. Like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got my job at WWE.
Yeah.
From 2002 to 2009, he watched my career, and he said, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, man. So
yeah.
I owe a lot to Dr. Tom Pritchard. Anytime I see him, I give him the biggest hug.
Yeah.
Biggest hug.
And not trying to be negative Nancy here, but, like, let's if you want to dive into Bruce Pritchard, Eric Bischoff, everything Bruce Pritchard has done, well, not everything, but for the most part, he's really successful, right? Like Eric, yes, he changed the game forever. WCW, like, give credit where credit is due. He made his mark in pro wrestling. But if you're just kind of like taking a step back, like, WCW went to the ground, right? And also TNA, it didn't really pan well for him either. Like, people was giving him crap with how TNA worked out, and in his defense was like, listen, at that time, like, I'm an online personality. I'm really not like the, like, behind the scenes guy making sure that everything's all good. But he's just associated with certain things that failed. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, could we see him jump to AEW?
I don't know if they'll have him, to be honest, man.
What, he can't be an on-air personality?
That'll be too much like WCW.
Yeah, well, hey.
Too much. I mean, they're already on TNT. They already got, Tony Schiavone, and, that's too much.
That would be controversial.
That would be. That's a plug for his book. Controversy Creates Cash, or something like that.
Controversy Creates Cash. He can bring back the Nexus, but bring him to AEW.
Oh, that's true.
As
the
outsiders,
Yeah.
Because everyone in the Nexus isn't with WWE, I mean, kind of, sort of.
And the Nexus versus the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
What if they're the faction that takes them down?
Yeah, so it would not be the Nexus, it'd be called the Nexus Alliance. So it's not 7 of us, it'd be against 5 of us.
But I'm sure you guys won't be able
Daniel
to say
Bryan
Nexus. What would you guys call yourself if you were to have a reunion
Nexus,
and show up in AEW?
Call them Nexus Alliance. Combine the name.
Oh, okay.
Because
you can do that?
Yeah, the one organization I worked for last year, Chikar, they called us the Nexus Alliance. And we were doing like 3-way 6-man tags. So it was me, Tarver, and Justin Gabriel against like a lot of the Chikara guys. And Chikara wrestling is like a lot of flips and like a lot of lucha stuff, you know? So for me to keep up with those guys was like, wow, man, I could really keep up with these lucha guys.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Nexus Alliance against
the Inner Circle.
The Inner Circle.
I'm here for it. I like it.
Because Jericho always says that like he didn't like how the Nexus angle went down.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. Jericho was saying that we should have went over.
And also other news, Seth Rollins was supposed to be part of Team Hogan for Crown Jewel, but since he's wrestling The Fiend, they replaced him as team captain. And on SmackDown, they had Hulk Hogan via like Skype or whatever, satellite, and Hogan is at his beat shop, and Hogan was saying that, oh, you know, there's gonna be a new captain, so it's gonna be revealed later on the night. And it's just so funny because, you know, Hogan, 30 years later, his cheesy gimmick still works because once the camera was on, he cut a promo like it was the 1980s. Oh, what's going on, brother? Hulkamaniac's here. And you know something, brother, with his like hand movements, you know. We got Seth Rollins, like, and it still works. It's fine because people give him a pass because obviously it's Hulk Hogan. But now Roman Reigns is the team captain for Team Hogan, which I think is really cool. And Drew McIntyre has also just been named as part of Team Flair, and he made his return on Raw to announce that.
Wow, okay.
So man, it's gonna be a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, too bad I didn't watch Raw to see what went down. Yeah, I mean, I was making moves with WWE photographer. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Hey, man, I gotta put myself over, man. Hey, I'm too busy to watch Raw, man, because I'm helping you guys out.
Yeah. And also on SmackDown, you know, Daniel Bryan has gone full face now. Full face. You know, he's amping up the crowd as he's coming by. And Daniel Bryan could definitely pull it off. People just love Daniel Bryan. Like, whether they love to hate on him or cheer him, he's just such a likable guy. Not every wrestler can do that. I think that's one of the reasons why like Seth Rollins is starting to become stale. I think people need to be reminded why they love Seth Rollins. Coming from a fan's point of view, I enjoy it when a heel turns babyface, but still has some of the same characters that he had when he was a heel. Like Stone Cold. He never changed his character. The only thing that was different is that instead of going after baby faces, he went after heels. And the fans cheered. That's the only difference. He's still Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I just don't like it when, okay, let's take Seth Rollins. He has all the talents in the world. And for a while, the full babyface thing worked. But if you think about it, when he was heel, people was like, man, this guy is the man because he talks so much crap, but he's able to back it up with his matches with Dean Ambrose, those ladder matches. Like, he always survives, and he always, you know, for the most part, did it on his own. I think it would work so much better if Seth Rollins doesn't cut like super baby faces promo. Like, if it wasn't for the fans, if it wasn't for you guys made this place what it was. Like, don't still act like Seth Rollins under Triple H's authority. Still act like that guy, but just use all that energy against the heels. You know, don't acknowledge the fans. Don't acknowledge the fans because I think
the easiest way to maintain your baby face-ish.
What do you mean?
He's babyface, right?
Yeah, but it's like,
well, that's what he's got to do, and they want him babyface, so that's what he's got to do. He's got to, you know, work the people.
I know, but I'm saying though, like, you can still work the people by still acting like a heel, like Kevin Owens. You know, well, Kevin Owens is a bad example because he's starting to put over the fans a little bit. But Kevin Owens, when he first showed up against John Cena, when he wrestled him for the U.S. Championship, people loved him because just like Stone Cold, he was a badass. So I think it works well for people like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens to not acknowledge the fans and just be a badass, and they'll cheer for you and just be booked against heels, you know. But that's just from like a fan's point of view.
Yeah, well, you're the professor, so I can only but listen.
And also, they're promoting the continuation of the Seth Rollins and the Fiend match at Crown Jewel.
Okay.
And they learned their lesson from Hell in a Cell because in the stipulation, this match cannot be stopped for any reason. So it says like Seth Rollins versus The Fiend on the bottom. This match will not be stopped for any, because people are, you can't blame people for like, oh, okay, I can't invest too much into that because I'm gonna get robbed just like how I did in Hell in a Cell.
Well, I mean, when we were backstage in Bakersfield, you were standing right there. We were standing right there on the set where they were interviewing the referee, Rob Zapata.
Yep.
So,
yeah, man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they just put the heat on the ref, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure, man.
Well, I gotta ask you, have you heard that WWE has started a podcast?
That's what I was gonna bring up next.
Oh, legit, we were not thinking about this. Like, that was on the back of my mind that I wanted to bring up, and like, that was on your agenda.
Yep, Corey Gray's After the Bell podcast.
Bro, I'm gonna reach out to Triple H. I'm saying it right now. Make sure we can capture this. How do you send me the videos?
What do you mean? Like the footage?
Yeah, you send me little clips.
Little snippets?
Yeah, send me this snippet. I'm going to reach out to Triple H, man, and Pro Wrestling's got to somehow be integrated into that network podcast world. I mean, come on. We've been rocking and rolling with this. This is like therapy for me. If I'm going to do anything with the WWE family, let's do this damn podcast together.
Yeah, and
so when is it filmed?
I don't know when it's filmed, but the first episode is going to be October 30th. And do you know who the first guest is?
Vince, right?
Triple H.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Triple H. And the way Corey Grace promoted this podcast is it's going to be unfiltered. Most of the time it's going to be with guests with WWE superstars, and he's going to talk about,
or maybe former guests too. Like, have it all,
guests.
baby.
Yeah, former guests, man. That should be a thing. And he's just gonna talk about like the ins and outs of WWE,
Ins and outs. And I wonder how to this, because I always feel like
they're just trying to adapt.
I always feel like, yeah, they are, and they've got the best social media people that are seeing what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Seeing Fred with the block to hate.
Yes.
And then putting it on Finn. You know?
Yeah.
And then seeing us doing a podcast, Pro Wrestling, and saying, oh, maybe we should start a podcast. Someone's got to see us, bro. Someone's got to see us. I just feel like it's just a dig at me.
I love it.
It's a dig, man.
Yeah.
But shit. I think they were going to film it, after Raw or something?
I think so. Well, it's called After the Bell, so I'm sure.
After the Bell, so it would be on a Monday, huh?
Corey's on SmackDown, I think.
Oh, so I guess they'd film it on a Friday or something?
I guess. I don't know.
So, and they do it in the studio or something?
No details about that. No details.
No details. Well, they need to get us on there, fly us out. Would you be down to fly out? I guess you'd fly out on a Thursday, and then you'd be there Friday, and then fly back home Saturday.
Yeah.
Could you do that schedule?
Oh, every week. No, I can't, man.
Yeah, well, hey, we're gonna die trying. And then get me back into the swing of things.
Yeah. If it all goes well, you know, you don't need it, but you definitely have my blessing to do this solo,
Yeah. But doing our stuff, we're gonna keep doing it, man, because this is fun therapy for me. As I always say, I repeat myself, but it is what it is, baby.
And I'm excited for the After the Bell podcast too, because I love Corey. I just love him when he talks. I feel like I can listen to him all day because he's funny. Though he pokes fun at Byron Saxton, and I've heard him in podcasts with Sam Roberts, and he's hilarious. He's just like a chill dude. So congrats to him.
Absolutely.
And the last thing that I want to talk about, it's something unexpected, but I started watching Total Divas this season. And I rarely watch it religiously or anything like that. Yeah. I just catch it here and there. But I watched the first 3 seasons of Total Divas this season, and I'm intrigued, man. Wow. It's the whole Nia Jax and Carmella beef, on all that. And here's this is my 2 cents. All reality shows, they're they have to create stories for it to happen, to be entertaining. It can't just be a vlog of a camera person and just live your life. Yeah, they gotta create certain angles. And even though this is not breaking kayfabe, even though certain angles are created, you just gotta. I'm there watching, and I'm like, I think like this is genuine because certain things like they cry really hard about certain, you know what I mean? And
the girls?
Yeah, and like problems with like Natty and TJ, like I feel like you can't fake those emotions. Like Natty saying like, oh, TJ always never gives me compliments. Whenever like fans like compliment me, he kind of downplays it, and that really gets to me, and she starts breaking down crying. And like to me, like yeah, you can't fake that. Like, I don't know, you can't fake a cry like that, those kind of emotions, you know?
And we had a 20-minute conversation with TJ, and you loved him, I love him.
Yeah, and not just them too. Like, but this story with Nia Jax and Carmella, like Carmella's reaction. Okay, so Nia Jax, she doesn't like Carmella because she feels Carmella's fake. When I first heard that, I'm like, oh please, storyline. Okay, like randomly just say that person's fake. But Carmella, whether it was like performance or not, man, it was so genuine because Carmella approached Nia like, hey, I just feel like something's off. Like, are you okay? Because I feel like it's awkward between us. And like, I just think they're fake. And Carmella's reaction is so real. Like, it's so real. Like, it's hard to fake. Because she's like, and she just started crying, but holding back her tears. Like, it's like someone getting bullied. Kind of like, and she walked away because she didn't want to like cry on the spot. But she's like, I've never been called like fake before, and to have someone say that in front of my face. Like, so those moments I'm like, you can't really fake that.
What, have you been watching by yourself or with Heart?
Well, with Heart. Well, not like sometimes she'll sit down with me, but sometimes it's just like playing as like she's like walking back and forth, and like with her mom too, Heart's mom, when she was here for the weekend, and her Heart's mom was so intrigued by it too. They're like, she's like, man, like these girls are like, they're wrestlers, you know? So it's just intriguing, man. So good job, Total Divas.
Yeah.
You got me, all right? You got me. Damn it.
Oh, that's so funny.
You were in one of the episodes, right?
Yeah, I had cameos in like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And that's always fun because you know when you know the camera's there, you know, but you just gotta be on and just have fun, and the check will be in the mail.
Yeah. And of course, Titus is all up in there.
Always, because he knows the deal.
He's like at Natty's house.
Yeah, big check will be in the mail because, it is what it is, man. But once that red light's on, cha-ching.
Yeah. I don't want to end it on the Total Divas. I'm just going to say something else. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins had a match against the Viking Raiders. And, you know, they got jobbed out. It's fine, whatever. But I like their segment on WWEexclusive.com because they're so self-aware of who they are and their position, because the interviewer was asking them, oh, so how do you feel about, you know, losing to the War Raiders? And he's like, excuse me, first of all, we were in the longest reigning episode of television. We were on Raw. That show, we were on it tonight. Were you? Were you on that show? No. And we also got to wrestle the tag team champs, and we got to taste a little bit of the Viking Raiders. And what else did they say? I mean, like, look at you. You're not even on anything. Look at your hand. You just made it to WWE.com. Like, that's it. But we were there. And Zach thought of a new catchphrase for them. You know who, like, you know what we represent? We are PPF. And Hawkins was like, what's that? We're the past, present, and future. Yeah. And it's true. I mean, they've been around since 2008. Yeah. Zach likes to say all the time, he's still here. And I see, like, man, I wish the fans got more behind them. They're so deserving because they're so genuine. Like, who they are on TV is a big part of who they are in real life. Yeah. You know? So I want them to be pushed to the top of the tag team. And I want them to have both like singles run because Kurt Hawkins seems like such a great guy, such a chill dude. Same goes with Zack Ryder, who just loves WWE. He just loves WWE. I mean, for him to buy action figures of his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he loves this.
Yeah, I shared the clip today.
I saw it.
He shared it on his social media?
Yeah, it's on his story.
Yeah, so I gotta probably reach out to him and see if he would be down to be on our podcast.
Yeah, we can talk figures with him.
Yeah, figures and stuff like that. But he might have to get clearance. So
yeah, it's all good.
Again, that's work. But yeah, we should definitely have him on.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, man. I would love to talk wrestling figures with him because I'm not crazy deep into it now. But man, you gotta understand. Like, as a kid, I was just as much of a fan as he is, all up to like college too, you know. But yeah, I feel like that wraps it up for today's episode, man.
Another fully loaded episode, Pro Bro Wrestling, and don't forget, man, we gotta pay the damn bills.
Yeah, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like and write a comment. And if you're also listening to us on iTunes, if you like what you hear, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and write us a review so we know what we can do better for the next episode. And until then,
block the hate, salute the great, baby.
see you guys next week.